What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Acklon here, and of course, welcome back to each and every one of you. Normally, we do lore discussions and stuff on this channel because, that's what I do. But today I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about Mythic Plus. Now, this comes from a guy that doesn't do a whole lot of Mythic Plus. I think right now, I've done the crazy amount of +7. I think that's the highest I've gone. I do enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it. It's not like my favorite thing to do in the game. And there's a number of reasons for that. It just doesn't really jive with me, I guess. I like the open world, I love the story, I like leveling characters and things like that. You could call me a filthy casual if you want. That is perfectly within your purview to do. But I still have opinions on things like Mythic Plus. I have opinions on things like raiding because I used to raid for a very, very long time. And specifically now, with Season 2 looming and Blizzard just revealing, brand new affixes for level 7, the removal, of course, of the seasonal affix, and specifically just how Mythic Plus have struggled in Dragonflight. We all remember the articles and the headlines from a few months ago showing that Mythic Plus participation is the lowest that it has ever been for that point in the expansion. It's a couple of months after the launch. Usually this is where Mythic Plus is still raging good and everyone's still doing it, but it's lower than ever. And my question became sort of, at the time, why is this happening? And I think the fact that Blizzard removed the seasonal affix, the fact that Blizzard has reworked all of the level 7 affixes, suggests that the affix system is a big part of the complaints. We know, thanks to the interviews of Preach, that Blizzard get a lot of feedback on the forums, on Twitter, on YouTube about things, and this really, at least in the last year, has informed Blizzard's development quite heavily, which we should give them absolute props for. Now, before we get further into the video, please remember to hit the like button if you enjoy videos from me specifically, and also then to all of the patrons, the YouTube members, and of course the Twitch subs. Thank you so much for all of your support. It means the absolute world to me. With that said, I want to talk about the Mythic Plus system. I want to talk about why I think so many players are moving away from the Mythic Plus system, mainly because Dragonflight, in my opinion, has been an absolute W. I think Dragonflight is the best expansion Blizzard have made, if not ever, then definitely in the last 6 years. It's definitely my favorite. I love playing the game, even as a filthy casual. I find myself logging in 2-3 times a week and just wanting to be in the world. I find myself now logging into WoW just because I want to be there. I don't have something specific that I want to do, but I just kind of want to be in the world, and I just kind of want to hang out and maybe kill a couple of rares. So I'm loving the story, of course. That's why I've gone back to full-blown speculation, stuff like that. But why is Mythic Plus sucking? Why do people not like it? Well, I think a reason for Mythic Plus, and the reason people are so upset with it, is its lack of innovation. If you think about Mythic Plus, since really its inception in Legion, it's never changed. It has remained the exact same thing throughout all of it. Yes, there's been a couple of affixes here and there that they sort of tuned, and they kind of started playing around with things like seasonal affixes, but at its core, there's been no true innovation when it comes to the Mythic Plus system. And why I think this wasn't necessarily a problem in something like Shadowlands was because the Outworld, the world of Shadowlands, was so bland and boring that Mythic Plus was at least this one bastion that players had to hold on to from the Legion days and be like, well, at least that's still good. I don't really want to be out in the world, but at least Mythic Plus is still good. It's still what it used to be. And now with Dragonflight, with everything being new and everything being shiny, and Blizzard being so courageous in, tackling problems that have historically existed within World of Warcraft and saying, well, no, we can fix this. And yeah, we're going to make some mistakes, and, we're going to screw some things up, but we'll be very quick to bring it all back in line. And, we're willing to try things. And I think that's now the thing that people are looking at and going, but why are you not trying anything with Mythic Plus? You know, the world is cool. I want to be out in the world. I want to do things in the world. I don't really care for the Mythic Plus system. So let's talk about affixes. We just got news of how at least one of the new affixes will work. It's called Entangling. And what it does is it snares you by 50%. So it lowers your movement speed by 50%. You then have to move out of range of the original snare point. If you do not, you get stunned. And that's it. That's the affix. And players rightfully on Twitter are very upset. People are very upset that this is basically just the continuation of the punishing affixes that we have seen up until this point. Now, Ian, in an interview, said that affixes can't have upsides. They can't do the whole positive negative affix reinforcement stuff because Mythic Plus is meant to be hard. And I would argue, yeah, but are they meant to be unfun? Because based on my read, as someone that isn't necessarily very versed in Mythic Plus, you basically have two types of affixes. You have not fun but not too punishing affixes, and then you have not fun but very punishing affixes. So basically you have these weeks we will do Mythic Plus because the affixes are insignificant enough to where it doesn't really stop us from being able to do the Mythic Plus, and these weeks we will not do Mythic Plus because the affixes make it impossible to do the Mythic Plus in the first place, right? It's so unlikely and so unhelpful and so bad that we're just not even going to waste our time doing Mythic Plus this week. Now, obviously, there's always differences and there's always going to be exceptions to that rule. There's going to be people that go, no, screw that. I'll do it no matter what, right? I want to push for the highest ever on the hardest affixes ever. And that's fine. But call me crazy, but I don't know if a design philosophy of this is bad and this is worse, but there's no this is good option is necessarily a good design philosophy. Now, Matt Balila, Matt, you guys know who he is, over on Twitter actually had a phenomenal suggestion. He mentioned something called Pass the Ball, which basically a mob gets a bomb on the top of their head and the bomb counts down. Every single time you kill a mob, the bomb jumps and it also resets the timer on the bomb, which fundamentally changes the way you play the game. And to me, the problem with a lot of the Mythic Plus affixes that we have right now is they don't really change the way you play the game. There's no real interference with how the game is being played. If anything, all it really does is it introduces another level of complexity to an already pretty complex puzzle. Dungeons are complex and they are puzzles that need to be solved. And you're basically just throwing something like Entangling on top of that, which effectively, all right, so all you're doing is you're punishing me, but there's no counterplay here. Right? I can't counterplay this. And before people go, well, you can, you just need to move out. That's how you counter it. I'm not really countering it, because as a warlock, by moving, I'm not doing damage. So I'm already being punished. The fact that I now got this debuff is already punishing me. Now I also have to run away. That's another punishment, right? So that I don't get stunned, which would also be a punishment. So it's punishments all the way down, with literally no upside. What happens when I do it correctly and I don't get stunned? Well, you just don't get stunned. Oh, great. So basically, I just don't have the bad thing happen to me, but I don't get anything good happen to me either. But let's go back to the bomb idea that Matt came up with. What if this bomb could lose damage every single time it jumps? So say the bomb starts off with like, it'll do 500k damage to all players in the vicinity when it goes off. But every single time it jumps, the damage lowers until the damage reverses. And now suddenly you're starting to stack a bomb against mobs. And soon the bomb can deal millions of damage to the mobs, not to the players. What if that was a thing? Suddenly, yes, this is an affix, and yes, this affix changes the fundamental way of how you want to play the game. But at the same time, it's not just a punishment. There's an upside to this as well. If we start stacking this bomb right in the beginning of the fight, we can, we can go quite far with this, right? We can really stack this bomb to the point where we one-shot the final boss, or we kill ourselves in the process, right? Because if the bomb runs out, it can still kill us, right? Or whatever the case may be. There's a number of ways in which this can become truly fun, in my opinion. And I wish Blizzard would sort of go that route with the affixes. Balls to the wall, bro. You've done it with Dragonflight. That's what you've done. You've gone and said, look, screw everything we've known about development. Let's just get out there and design a really fun experience for the player base. Why are you still playing defense with Mythic Plus? Why do you still feel afraid to take that shot, to take that chance, and do something different? Because I get it, Mythic Plus is meant to be hard. It's not meant to be punishing, right? I mean, that's not how game design is supposed to function. Things aren't supposed to exist purely for the sake of punishing you. And if they are, there should be an upside to it. There should be a benefit to the counterplay of it. I'm not pretending like it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here going, oh, it's so easy, Blizzard should just do this. I'm just saying, I think there are better things that can be done. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. We haven't had time to test any of this yet, so we don't really know what all of this is going to do. But so far, it seems like people are very upset about the Mythic Plus changes. The new affixes don't seem to be hitting the spot that Blizzard had hoped for. And as someone that really wants Dragonflight to succeed, because it is good and it is so fun. And of course, World of Warcraft is my job. It's my life. It's how I pay my bills. It's how I pay everything. I want this game to be good. So, yeah. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. There's like at least 40% of you that watches the videos and don't subscribe. So, it'd be nice if you could. To all of the patrons, the YouTube members, and the Twitch subs, of course, thank you so much for your monthly contributions. It does mean the world to me. Thanks to you, videos like this one is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.